going to burn that midnight oil tonight. Oh Lord, was I having a whole bunch of technical difficulties today. I don't know what was going on with my computer and my new setup, and I haven't done the switchboard thing to where you could call in live. Yeah, look at the bottom of the screen. Tonight is the night where you will be able to call in live. We go burn that midnight oil tonight over these union politics. We go burn it tonight over these union politics. Man, I want to hear from you guys. I don't care what y'all want to talk about. Y'all want to ask me a question. Y'all want to talk about if you're a station agent up right now, you gotta want to voice your opinion, call into the show. If you want to talk about Tony Utano retiring, call into the show. You want to talk about Richie Davis being the new president of Local 100, call into the show. If you want to talk about John Chiarello being the secretary treasurer of Local 100, call into the show. You want to talk about safety, whatever you want to talk about, man, call into the show. The phone lines are open. I know you guys got something to say about Richie Davis being the new president. I know there's something to say about that, right? Oh, and guess what, guys? You guys can donate to the show via stars. If you're watching on Facebook right now, you could do it via stars. You see the Cash App on the screen. We're going to get this show popping the way that we used to have it popping, where I could just have random people calling. People always complaining, yo, I never get, they never acknowledge us, and what about us, and what about us, and what about us? Now this is your chance to get your voice out there. This is your chance to be heard. I'm going to do this all 3 shifts. One day we go do it early in the morning, 6, 7 in the morning. You see, I'm burning the midnight oil tonight. Definitely burning the midnight oil tonight. And the reason I keep looking behind me, because my switchboard is behind me. So, and we actually got a caller. Let's see. Caller 3276. You now on Progressive Action TV, radio, whatever you want to call it. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. You can hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. You can hear me.
You loud and clear.
I appreciate that.
What's going on? Why every time these guys step down, it's like a backroom deal. They retire, and then they go to the international.
Wait, hold on. Before we start, what's your name and where you from? And are you a transit worker?
Yeah, I'm a transit worker, train operator. I'm Mr. Man.
Mr. Man. Mr. Man on YouTube?
Yeah, you know who I am.
Oh, what's going on, bro? All right, so look.
What's up, brother?
I'm good. So look, tell me, all right, finish your sentence. What's on your mind?
This is the thing, man. It's the same old dog and pony show every time. It's from the 20, 30 years, 40 years, the president come in, he bring his crew in, his crew goes, he go to the international. Only one that didn't do that is Tucson. And they all get paid.
Okay.
Utano, I didn't even know. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
All right, like the Samuelson guy. He stepped down. He brought Utano in. Utano's gone. I guarantee you he's going to go to the international.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. You got the new guys in. The sister the situation went on train with the sister. She got shook up, and the brother got burnt. They down there by themselves. And the young lady, she traumatized. How you going to make her whole? Nobody asks her, hey, you all right? You got your family at home? How we going to take care of your family? How we going to take care of you? And
I
it's the same thing all the time. You get assaulted on a train, you on your own. Unless they come into a brother like you or somebody like me on the job that's going to pull them to the side and say, hey, do this, do this, do this. Other than
but
that,
hold
you
on,
on your own.
hold on. In RTO, they said that we have a new RTO. Do you feel anything new with this new administration in RTO?
Brother, only thing I see, maybe they don't wear the spats. You know what spats are?
Nah, educate me, please.
Google spats. Those are the black shoes with the white top on top.
Oh,
And you get the monkey and the organ grinder.
Yo, but
that's the only thing. Serious stuff. Serious.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of people came to me and they was on comp and they going in a conversation circle. You know how that goes. They give you the runaround, they give you the runaround. And there's no blueprint when you go to comp. If you don't have somebody that's going to say, hey, Tramel, you do this, you don't do that, you're going to get screwed.
I
And they're
agree.
going to give you the business.
I agree. See, and a part of
And
me,
not only that, brother, go ahead.
a part of me think that the union is definitely in line with not addressing the comp issue the way it should be addressed. It just boggles my mind.
It shouldn't boggle your mind because I tell you, and I told you before, man, everybody has their own agenda. You get 100 people online and say, hey, we're going to get down and we're going to change this compensation. But you get one brother come up to you and say, hey, can I skip the line for a pack of Newports? You may not do it, but somebody going to do it. And then you change the Newports to Newports and some Hennessy, somebody going to do it. Everybody got their own degree of when they're going to, like they say, sell out.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question. Do you know do you know anything about the new president, Richie Davis?
I'll be honest with you. I have yet to. The only thing I have ever seen 30 years down there was somebody that stood like a man and put the wind behind their back was Tucson.
Mm.
And people talk about Tucson and they talk about him. We didn't win anything and we didn't do this and we should have stayed out. Hey, bro, look at the contract. Before when you went on strike, you got zipped, nothing, nada for 21 days. That's a long time to go without money if you got responsibilities at home. Before we went on strike, we didn't have that situation where a lot of people don't understand this. It's in the contract. If you got a family, like you got a son,
mm-hmm.
or you got elder care at home, if you put that in writing and send it down to labor relations, they can't call you for a random 2 hours before your clearing time.
Mm.
And you could even ask some of the union members about it. They don't even know about it. But those are the things that we have won. And it seems like these guys, at some time, what do you stand for?
So do you think
go for everything?
Do you think that this union is definitely moving in the wrong direction?
It's when you say wrong direction, like it or not, you may not like them. The only union leader you see in the tri-state that stand up and got some cast iron balls.
You gonna say Pat Lynch?
Is the dude from the PBA.
Pat Lynch. Yeah.
You may not like him. Give me a second, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You may not like him, may not agree with him, but as a union leader, you have to respect him.
Facts.
And these guys down here, they throw everything down your throat. COVID, real talk, brother. You sit down and you think about it, and you get with your people, and you really think about COVID, man, it make you cry. How many people we lost with COVID, and we didn't get any hazard pay, or you gonna get hazard pay? Really? like, come on, for real? Dude, we moved the city when nobody was down there, with nothing. Nothing. We came to work.
Now,
And where's the hazard pay?
you right. You 100% right. Now, I want to read you a quote from the new president, Richie Davis, where he said today. He said, "My mission is to build a better, stronger, more unified, and more effective TWU Local 100 that has an administration that is focused on you, the membership." Um, would you give him a shot to prove himself, or would you automatically write him off because from the people he came from?
You all right. I'm a man, you're a man. You have to give a man a shot.
All right. I agree.
That's if you came to me like a man, I don't know you. I know you from what I see. But if you gave me your word until you prove me wrong, I have to accept you for your word. But this is the thing. When people talk a good fight, but everybody, like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. you understand what I'm saying? And when you really think about it, we go to work, man. You go to work. You got a young lady at home, or whatever your situation is. When you close that door, they think you're gonna come back to work, come back home, the way you left.
Mm-hmm.
That brother that got burnt, he thought he was gonna come back. Dude, you could be married. My wife could curse me out. But at the end of the day, she thinks she's gonna come back. I'm gonna come back home the way I left.
So,
and every day you come to work, go ahead.
So how much time do we give him?
See, this is the thing. You say how much time do you give him? How much time are you? See, you are active. So when people say how much time do you give them, how much time do you give yourself to get involved?
I mean,
so you want somebody, and that's the thing. Everybody is not strong as you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody doesn't have the gift like you. Everybody don't. You know how it go. Some people growing up, some people just gave up their stuff. Some people fought. And everybody can't fight a fight. A lot of people flap their gums like they're gonna fight. But like Tyson said, when you get punched in the mouth, some people fight.
Yeah.
And you say give them a chance, but how many people you know come to you, but when you say, hey brother, I need some backup on this situation, man, I got something to do after work.
Oh, all the time. All the time.
They push you, and you're first this time, I'm first the next time. My next time is never gonna come. So that's part of the problem too. When you ask somebody like, let's get together, you know how it goes, Tramel. You organize all these things, and all these members suffer from the same problem, and you be lucky if you get a minivan full of people out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Brothers get assaulted on the train and this and that, and these guys go to court. What, you fill up 1 hour if you're lucky?
Mm-hmm. But still, how much time do you give him to prove himself before you write him off?
You have to. All right. So, who's next? Sometimes sometimes you buy a house, it got termites. You got to deal with it. You can't sell it. So if this guy's the guy to step up, are you going to work with him to make himself better, bring out the issues, or you just going to write him off?
Well,
and if you write him off, what's plan B?
Are you asking me that personally?
Yes.
All right. So I never did not want to work with the union administration. My whole perspective on it was they got to be honest with the members, and they know that I had the platform, and if I ever see them, trying to shortchange us in any form or fashion or sell us out, I'm going to report back to the membership. So I think that for the most part, the union administration did not want to work with me because they know I wasn't a yes man. As far as Richie Davis is concerned, he's probably one of the ones that I do like in Local 100 as far as one of the officers is concerned. I really don't have no personal beef with Richie Davis. When I'm out sick, when I had surgery last year, he was like the only union officer to contact me to make sure everything was all good. He taps in with me from time to time. Um, I At the end of the day, me and him got a cool relationship, but that relationship don't supersede what would be done for the members. The members come first in my book. Like I don't care about the friendship. The members come first, and
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
that's a problem a lot of people have. They can't separate friendship from business. But one thing I would tell you, and I want you to, I would never be mad at you, but I want you to understand this: two things.
Hmm.
God has given you a talent. Take your talent and use it. You you are that voice, but just because you're the voice doesn't mean you have to have the answers all the time.
Facts,
Follow me?
facts. Got you.
And also, a lot of people, not you, think because you see it in the crew room, just because you're speaking loud doesn't mean you're right. And I never see you do that.
Hmm.
But you have a talent, brother, and you must use it to uplift your people. It doesn't mean that you have to have the answers. No, your job is to bring the noise and bring it loud. You don't have to, it's not your job, it's somebody else's job. You can't do everything.
I agree.
And that's the thing. You focus on what you're doing. You're doing a great job, a great job. I wish I would have met you 10 years ago.
Hey, look.
But
Hey. Hold
one of
up.
the
Hold up.
things,
Hold up.
huh?
You're not dead yet,
Go
man.
ahead.
You're not dead yet. Don't say you wish you would have met me 10
But I'm
years
not.
ago.
I'm not. My checks don't come every 2 weeks no more, brother. They come once a month. But the thing is though, and this is real talk. The problem you have, a lot of these guys, they so conditioned that the condition is conditioned,
Mm.
and they used to taking the BS, and the BS comes down here, serious, and you'll be fighting a lot of fights by yourself. And that's just the way it is. A lot of these guys, oh, bro, I remember I had a problem with this superintendent, and it got personal. And an older brother, grown man, came up to me and said, listen, let me talk to you. I said, what's going on? He said, won't you do yourself, he said, won't you do me a favor and bring the train in on time?
Mm.
Keep the superintendent off your back. I said, you know what, bro? Every time you see me, have your peanuts in your water because you're going to be late. And that's the thing, man. You're doing the righteous thing. You're not looking for trouble. You're pointing out things that are not right and not just.
Mm-hmm.
But some people, they get, oh man, Tramel, here come Tramel. He gonna start trouble. Just let's do what they say do. Come on, man. At certain times, you got to stand up.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%.
And everybody don't. I don't want to clog your line, brother. But one thing you got to understand, man, and remember this: everybody's not built for a fight.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And some people push you up. You know how it is, man. You grew up in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
People push you up in the schoolyard to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And some cats just give up their lunch money, and some guys can be like, "Yo, I guess take the broken nose," you know. And that's just the way it is with Chance. A lot of people talk, but that's you to go, and that's going to be them to go.
That you have spoken nothing but the truth. Today on this live, and I'm happy for you to be like my first official guest since relaunching.
Brother, I love you, man. I really do, man. You know what, man? I'm gonna get off the line, man. I'm gonna tell you this. I love you, brother, and I want you to stay focused, man. I know you're not the brother with the personal agenda, but remember, man, you're gonna fight a fight, and you're gonna fight the fight by yourself. A lot of people just not built for it.
I agree.
All right,
I
brother.
agree.
I'm gonna get off the line, and I'm probably call you again. But
Whenever I
keep
go
on doing what
live,
you're
whenever
doing,
I
man.
go live, I want you to tap in. I need you to tap in and bring that,
Man,
bring that,
listen,
bring
I
that
got
truth.
other things to do, man. I got you.
Nah, I appreciate it,
I
man.
got you, brother.
Thanks for calling
I'm
in.
here to, brother. You're more than welcome. God bless you, man, and I love you, man. Stay up, man.
Love you too,
Stay
man.
positive, man.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right.
Later.
That was Mr. Man. He called and he tapped in. And you want to know what? Sometime I need those type of talks because I don't really have a lot of those talks. A lot of people think, I don't know what people think really half the time, but it's good to get the talks of appreciation that there's people out there that's really appreciating the work that's going on. And I want to share some of this. I don't want to take this whole thing for myself. I don't want to get all the credit. I have a team of people that I work with. But I don't want to get all the credit. I want other people to get involved. There's a lot of room for everyone to get involved and fight this fight. But like he said, a lot of people is afraid to fight this fight and they, just not going to get involved. Now, look, I need you guys to call in. You see the number right there at the bottom of the screen, just like Mr. Man just did. You could call in live 516-387-1638. I'm burning the midnight oil for you guys. I want to hear from the people who's up right now. We are live right now. You would not be on the screen. You would just call in. I would tag you in and you just let me know how you feel. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. We have some things going down. How y'all feel about the station agents being outside the booth? How y'all feel about that? This whole thing is crazy because you got Jan Oliba and all these other fake transit experts saying that, most of the people that commit the crime in the subways don't pay their fare. They hop the turnstile. So now you putting the station agents out there with the people who's hopping the turnstile, who's committing all the crime in the subways. See, there's a lot of things. Oh, we got two callers. Let's go. Let's see who is caller. Last four digits, 1700. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yo, what's up, Tramel?
Who's
My
this?
name is John. I'm a train operator at A Division.
Thanks. Oh, A Division tapping in. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. So this is what I'm talking about. A Division tapping in. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Hey, man, nothing much. Listen, you asked a question earlier and said how much time we should give Mr. Davis.
Yes.
The way I see it is he got 5 months in my book.
Why 5 months?
You get 5 months.
Why 5?
Because the contract is up in 5 months, right? Contract is up in 5 months. And it's one thing when you walking into a unit empty-handed. It's another thing when you're inheriting an army. You understand?
Gotcha.
It's not like he's building TWU from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
You're already coming into a place that has a fully equipped membership, and we just looking for guidance and direction. We just waiting on orders right now. You know what I mean? Because there's levels to this, and I feel like as the officers at the top of the food chain, they need to be delegating. They're the ones who set the pace. Because no matter how much noise we make as a membership, we're not the ones with the ties to Congress. We're not the ones controlling all that coke money. We're not the ones controlling where the membership is going to swing, even if we galvanize each other. Because the people who make the decisions and determine where the membership goes are the executives. And if they're not setting the pace, and if they're not the ones saying, listen, if we don't get X, Y, Z, this is what's going to happen, then I wouldn't fear TWU as a politician or as a constituent or even as a rider. I wouldn't fear the union at all if the people at the top of the food chain are not the ones saying, like, we are going to give the orders to shut this city down if you don't, oblige whatever request that we have then that's where I'm at. And I feel like he's coming in at the most opportune time. This is the time to prove yourself. You got 5 months.
All right,
We already in December.
I want to ask you.
Go
I
ahead,
want to ask you a question about the 5 months. Now, you said the contract is doing 5 months. Don't you think that he should actually, like, I wouldn't give him 5 months. I like Richie Davis, but I can't give him 5 months. He's going to have to show me within the next 30 days what's going to happen because I'm gonna tell you this: a boxer don't start training the day of the fight. A boxer start training
absolutely
months before, weeks before, right? So being that the contract is due in 5 months, don't you think that we should give him probably 30 days to start really? Because like you said, he inherited an army. He don't have to start from scratch. He already know how these systems work, right? I'm personally going to give him 30 days to show me something in good faith to say that he's going to do something more than what the previous president did, because we can't afford to waste another day. We wasted 10 years, if you want to be honest. We wasted a decade.
Yeah.
So, but you say 5 months and we see what it is. Anything else you want to say? I got to take some more callers.
Yeah. No, man, I agree. Actually, something I really do agree. I agree with that at all. Wholeheartedly agree with that. We already in December and we hearing about all types of events going on. And as many people have chimed in, we are not hearing about the events that we care about.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like I haven't heard a lick of anything about the contract with it being so close. There's all this other stuff, the transition in union presidency and all this other craziness, but bulletins coming out left and right and all types of stuff, right? But there's nothing going on involving what is being said. I thought we would have at least had, the list of demands that they usually release, like that little pre-release that they do of like, this is what we're going to ask for. And then, I haven't even seen that yet. And we already in December. So It's like, yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and hop off the line. I'm still listening to the show, but I agree, man. I think we give him a little bit of time.
I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
No problem.
All right. Yeah, so he brought up a good point of the he said 5 months. I don't particularly agree with the 5 months, but he definitely have the right idea. The union have this weird practice of starting 90 days before the contract is due. But if we pay attention to what's going on now, the MTA already started gearing up for a contract fight. I don't understand why our contract fight, first of all, a contract fight should never end, right? But if you want to say that there's a season for the contract, I'm going to put something in perspective for you guys. The union start, when it's time for elections, the union start the September before the election is done. I mean, before the election is official. They start the September before. So this September that's coming up, you have to be in good standing from September to September, right? If they could start the union elections fight a year before, why can't they start the contract fight a year before? Let me take a caller 1306. You live on Progressive Action TV. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Tower Operator Pollard.
Train operator.
How you doing?
Yo, let me tell you something, man. Y'all train operator.
Tower Operator.
Oh, tower operator. How about this? I'm proud of RTO calling in tonight. Y'all up tonight. We know who really run the city, right? RTO, right?
That's right. That's right. RTO.
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 Oh, we got it. What's on your mind?
Training operators. Yeah. Yeah, listen.
Mm-hmm.
This contract fight needs to start immediately. This contract fight, we gotta start. They gotta get us together. They gotta get us geared up and get us out here. They gotta hit this ground running. They gotta start coming out here. They gotta act like that contract, like this contract fight. They gotta act like it's an election for them. Be out here and be in people's faces, and let's talk about what we need to talk about. Because we got to get this thing going. Because like you said already, Transit already doing it. They try to talk about how they looking out for us. They ain't looking out for us with this contract thing. Transit don't care about us in this contract thing. They're gonna hide the money somewhere else. They're gonna shuffle the money somewhere else, and they're gonna say they ain't got no money to give to us. So now we need to be out here telling them, yes, they do got the money, and where the money could come from, you know.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that energy. You got me pumped up right now. I love that energy, man.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, we out here. We out here. We gotta get these young people that's in the job, the ones that got like 5 years and less or whatever. Need to get them involved and get them out here and get them geared up and here for this fight and let them understand what this fight is about. Because a lot of these millennials don't understand what the labor movement is. They got to get them involved and get them educated and whatnot. They got to send them down to 34th Street and 5th Avenue. Go to, what's that school up there? They was training the people for labor training and all that stuff up there. Let them understand what this is about, man.
There you go.
You know, make the money come out their pockets a little bit.
Let me ask you a question.
You know?
Let me ask you a question regarding the contract. How much percentage a year you think that we should get? What you think is the number that would make you happy?
The number?
Yeah.
I always like going with round numbers. My number, I think we should get like 10% raise, something like that.
10% a year. 10% a year.
10% every year. 10% every year.
I agree with you.
10.
I agree with you.
5 years now? 10. If they want to do 5-year contracts, 10.
I agree.
You know, if you ask for a pack of cookies, they only going to give you 2 pieces out of that pack. So you gotta come at them with something hard. So then, and this is what negotiation is about. You come up here, you start at the top. Start at the top. What you scared for? Yo, we know negotiating, so let's negotiate and whatnot. You know?
You want to know what's crazy?
That's the way I look at it.
Let me tell you what's crazy. When
you go into a fight, you don't do half training. You gotta train fully. You gotta shut stuff down and like, yo, listen, this is what we gotta do. I want to win this fight. I'm not going to this fight say, oh, I'm going to lose. I'm not going to work so hard. I want to lose the fight. No, you want to win. So you got to do the best that you can. So why not ask for the most that you can when you're in the negotiations? I never heard nobody in negotiations start at the low point for what?
I'm gonna tell you this: the MTA.
They don't start at the low point when they don't want to give you nothing. They don't say, oh, we're gonna give y'all 8% and whatnot. We're going to start at 8%. No, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to start at 0.
Look,
then they're going to work their way up.
Check it out. Check it out, though. The MTA budget automatically 2% for us every contract for every year, right? And the union sometimes they get less of a percent from what the MTA budgeted. We have been sold out for over a decade up under this administration. So Richie Davis have some work to do, and I'm going to give him a shot. But I say 30 days. In the case you guys don't know, the mass membership meeting is January 28th at the Sheridan in Midtown Manhattan. So we all must be there, and RTO must show up and show out. I'm going to give you the final word, my brother.
Listen, anybody that's listening, talk to your partners, talk to your people around you, get them involved. Get involved. Whatever you could do, just get involved, because all you have to do just be approachable and be ready to fight for the fight. You gotta stand up, man. We can't let people keep fighting our fight. We gotta help fight our own fight.
There we go. Y'all heard him.
Help fight our own fight.
Y'all heard him. Thanks for calling in, bro. I want to hear from you soon. You heard?
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There we go. RTO is in the building. Where y'all bus operators at? Where y'all station agents at? Where y'all track workers at? Let's get it in. Let's go. We got some things to talk about. We burning the midnight oil tonight. Listen, I got some more callers on the line. I need you guys to call in. I'm taking every call. We burning the midnight oil tonight. I'm gonna let you get whatever you're gonna get. You want to get off your chest. Let's talk about these issues. I'm bringing caller 5176. You live on Progressive Action TV. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's your title?
What's going on, brother? Tramel, train operator, Alamo.
Oh my God, Alamo. You, Alamo. Listen, you one of my favorite people.
How you been, man?
I'm good. You one of my favorite people, my brother. Let me know what's on your mind.
There's plenty, but look, I'll try to make it brief. I mean, the whole thing with the station agents being taken out of the booth, we knew that was coming. The administration, all those clowns at the top, they all need to go. Richie Davis, I don't know, whatever clown is in line next, they all need to go. Start fresh. Put new faces in there. Because this whole thing about, you had the whole mass membership meeting, I found out through a station agent, Charles Muniz, who posted it through a friend of his. Nothing was mentioned towards RTO. Never has been. They're always kept in the dark. Nobody wants to share the information with the department who makes the money for this place, right? But these clowns at the top have sold us out, like you said, for 10 years. We're not going to take 2%. The same song and dance, dog and pony show, whatever you want to call it. They're all chumps at the top because we know they're kissing the ring. All they needed to do was just say 5% every year because you could afford 5%. And I'll tell you how. You get rid of all the chumps that are taking up space at 2 Broadway. All those social media directors, wannabe security directors, CEO, CFO, COO, all those titles that really mean nothing because they don't bring in any cash. We do. And you sell that property. That'll take care of your funding at least for 5 years. But realistically, there's so much money that's being blown. The $30 million staircase, number one. Grand Central Madison for the East Side Access Project. It was supposed to be done in 2015. It's 2022, almost over, and we're still not seeing it. You're billions over budget on that project. LIRR again got caught for bilking millions off it. So you're telling me you can't afford it? This is the most productive year in transit history. For me as a work train operator, we've never done so many switches all across the system. Never, ever. I mean, you got teams of 50 to 100 guys working around the clock to get these switches stripped up and replaced brand new over a weekend, over a few weekends, right? So you're telling me there's no money? The pandemic, that was self-inflicted. The governor never told you to start giving bus rides for free. Never, ever did those words come out of Cuomo's mouth. All of a sudden, towards 21 and the supposed end of the pandemic, because it's not over, I'm seeing more and more masks down here from the passengers every day. Now you start putting this Omni stuff on the buses. Why didn't you do that before? You could have still been collecting fares on those buses. Easy. Why all of a sudden now you want to, throw Omni? And we need to get fares and all this other stuff. You blew it already. You blew about a year and a half worth of collecting fares on those buses. Then you had Mayor DeBozo, who made everything decriminalized. So jumping a turnstile didn't count. Taking a leak on the subway didn't count. None of this stuff. So now you have no law and order down here. We fend for ourselves. Look at these poor co-workers of ours getting punched and beat up. For what? That all could have been avoided if somebody would have just said, you know what, we're going to try to restore law and order. That ain't going to happen. It's too late now.
And we can't
get that back.
We can't forget about you brought up a good point of them making the buses for free. They took money out the booths. And they didn't care about putting the money back. Look how much money they lost.
That was their excuse. Oh, we don't want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go. It's just this your stage right now.
I mean, The whole thing about taking the money out of the booths, that was their ploy from the start. Oh, we don't want to spread the spread. So you knew from a while ago that you were going to try to take the token clerk out. You knew that because all the token booths that you slashed and tore down, some stations that are 3 blocks long but in a big complex only have one station exit and one exit in and out. Broadway Junction. Look at Broadway Junction on the ACJLZ, right? One way in, one way out, one token booth clerk. Really? There's 3 other exits there. You just don't use them and don't want to use them. You don't want to open them up. You opened up Nostrand Avenue. Nostrand Avenue, I get it. Okay, maybe. It may have a little bit of demand, but not like Broadway Junction.
I never even thought about the Broadway Junction
side.
situation. I never even thought about that. That's a good point.
That's a hell of a fire situation. If there's a situation there's only one means of egress. That's totally illegal. If you go to any buildings department for any apartment in New York City, according to the multiple dwelling code, you're supposed to have 2 means of egress: the normal way in and out, and then an escape route. Right? You don't have that in that station. You do not have a means of egress at that complex, Broadway Junction. Why? I mean, you made it a crew room on the J line. It's right before the tower at the end of the station. There was an entry exit point. Now you made it a crew room on the J line. And then on the L line, nobody would even dare go down that structure, being that it really hasn't been kept up or maintained. I mean, those floorboards are still wood, and half of them are shot up so that you wouldn't even think of stepping on it. So really, how do you get in and out of it in case of an emergency? You don't. The way that these guys spend money foolishly, I mean, when 4th Avenue was falling down a couple of years back, right, we told, look, the concrete's falling. Oh, we'll take it under advisement. All of a sudden, a big chunk of concrete hit a train. All of a sudden, we're going to shut down the express side, 36 to 59th Street for repair. Took a whole year. But you didn't fix the rest of it. From Atlantic to 36, concrete falls every day. What are you doing? Like, really, do you want something to happen? Clearly you do, because there's no type of repairs being done other than switches. More trains are breaking down because of vandalism, but still you're not maintaining the brakes on the equipment, you're not maintaining the lights on the equipment. How many power outages have we had unnecessarily because the infrastructure is all old? You don't need it. Clearly, you feel like you don't need it. You're not keeping up on it. All these CBT, CBIEs in the Queens corridor. Why? You didn't put enough routers out there. And then you put a work train in there. Now a signal block, instead of being maybe 1,000 feet, you're talking about over a mile between signals. You didn't think that through, did you? And now Alstom bought Bombardier, so now you have one big monopoly company owning all the subway equipment that we will eventually have, right? So what do you think is going to happen there? Somebody's going to get paid on the table, and they're going to keep bringing out crappy equipment. Hopefully you don't have another split train like that 179 at Chambers Street last year. I mean, there's so many factors of the way that they waste money and these shady deals. And then the union, all these chumps at the top, and I'll still call them chumps, whether they're standing in front of me or not, because they are, because of all the shady stuff they do, they too. The PPP loan was one thing. Why is Lutano leaving all of a sudden? Don't tell me he wanted to retire. You wouldn't have been here almost 40 years.
Well, let me ask you this, Alamo, because I just remembered something. You was at the Union Hall when Kathy Hochul, the governor Kathy Hochul, came through, and I heard that you was heckling her, or you was booing her or something. Could you let me know what happened at that meeting?
No, I didn't say anything. Whoever told you that was a liar. I stayed quiet with the group of people that I know. And then when the situation presented itself, I darted right over to her and I physically asked her a question because no one else did. It was supposed to be a 15-minute Q&A session, and something, of course, happened, in quotation marks, right? Something happened, and all of a sudden she couldn't take questions, but she did take my question. And I asked her very clearly, this isn't it, right? This isn't over, because lowering the requirement to 5 years means nothing. We still have coworkers that we're working shoulder to shoulder with, doing the same job, but being compensated very, very differently. If you really want to do something and really want to get support behind you, you knock out the cap. You have to knock out the cap.
What was her response?
And her answer to that was, we will continue the conversation. And then her security detail dragged her away from me and took her out of the building. That's what happened that day. So anybody who wanted to put words in my mouth, you weren't there. You weren't there, or you weren't next to me because you didn't see me move, because I did ask her a question.
So let me ask you this.
I did ask her the question.
Let me ask you this before I have to take more callers. What you think is a fair wage percentage per year for this contract coming up?
Given that we're so far behind, no less than 7%. What the other callers have said, especially when I said 10, in an ideal world, absolutely, I agree with you 1,000%. 10 sounds fine. But realistically, they could afford 7. We have to try to at least catch up to the cost of living expenses, number one, because as other previous contracts, every time it goes up, our dues go up and everything goes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now we're so far behind that we're in the negative. That 2% garbage that we got, 2.2, 2.75, and all that, it was still 2s. Anybody that knows simple math, what was the first number? 2, right? So all these chumps wearing these shirts and saying it's a good contract. Where? Where was it a good contract? It was never a good contract. It put us so far back that it's all gone from the first year. So we gave them an extra year, and we didn't get them during Christmas time. Like, who was making the contracts, man? A 3-year-old? Don't tell me that y'all know how to make contracts, because when you go in the private sector to ask for a job, you just don't take the number they give you. They always ask you sometimes. For the most part, they ask you, so how do you feel about what you're worth? I'm like, well, this is my number. You throw the first number out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they come back at you with a smaller number. And then you go back and forth until you find the median number, right, where both of you agree. So why all the secrecy on the previous contract? You knew you was going to give us 2 and change. So it was all a sham. You didn't need that. Clearly you sold us out, and we're probably still going to go with the same dog and pony show, just with a different face on it. And you're here cheering, Kathy. Y'all are clowns. Like, she did something super spectacular. She didn't do anything spectacular. She didn't do anything at all. Lowering the requirement from 10 to 5 years works for people outside of transit. It doesn't work for us. Tier 6 people in transit, there's no benefit to it. I'm sorry. If you carefully read what the requirements for transit are as an authority, that whole reduction doesn't affect us in the least at all. You want to really do something about it, you knock out the cap, and it's for this contract, you get 7 for the next 3 years, and that's it. And you go back to the way things were. December, it's over. And you start negotiating 6 months prior. You're not going to start, 30 days prior. You got to start hitting them now. They already did that 3 months ago. They started saying that they're broke. And there's 3 sets of books.
That's a fact.
We got to light them up. And if we have to take the hit, we should take a hit, but we do it smart. Don't go back to work after 1 or 2 days. Hold out for a week. Then we'll see how this city survives. Without us, it won't. It won't.
I agree.
And unfortunately, it won't affect the higher end people. It'll unfortunately affect the median people, because the people that are in the outer boroughs that have these jobs that started 3, 4, 5 in the morning, those are the ones that are going to get hurt the most. And it's a sad state of affairs. That's what these chumps at the top, along with the city leaders, put us in. We have to make a hard choice for ourselves, but then we have to affect, a vast majority of people. But then we have to take a stand, because we've been letting them do whatever they want for the last 10 years.
I agree, man.
When you got rid of OCO and you got rid of a whole bunch of stuff, for what? Why did you get anything about it? We're still on committees that are from the previous contract that haven't been made. So don't tell me they got you anything. They didn't. There were no wins at all. None.
I agree, bro.
No
Look,
wins.
Thanks for calling in.
To support these people.
Look, thanks for calling in. I gotta get you on the actual show where we could kick it for like an hour. I know our schedule's been kind of crazy, but I gotta get you on the show.
Hey, hopefully someday soon, brother. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm happy that you called in, though. You surprised me. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling. I'll catch you later.
No doubt, man. Happy holidays to all.
All right, same to you. Alamo is my guy, people. That's my guy. He comes to MTA board meetings. He's very, very knowledgeable, very intelligent. He carry himself as a man first, as a professional. I really like Alamo. I really wish Alamo would get involved with the union politics. Maybe one day he will. Look, I got some more callers. I'm getting to everybody. Trust me, I'm getting to everybody. You see on the screen, 516-387-1638. Call in. Let me know what you think. Let me know what's going on with you. Like I said, we got a new president. We got contract negotiations coming up. We got station agents outside of the booth. We have union reps saying that buses should be free. We have tier 6 issues. We have so many issues. We have safety issues, crime issues in New York City Transit. Call in right now and let me know how you feel. Let me get to this next caller. Oh, also, you guys watching, donate to the platform. We burning the midnight oil tonight. Donate to the platform. You see the Cash App on the screen. If you're watching on Facebook, you could donate via stars. If you're watching on Twitter, you could donate via, I think, Cash App again. But donate. Let me get to the next caller. Caller 0539. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's your title?
This bus operator D.
We finally got a bus operator. I am happy a bus operator called. It was an RTO show for a second. I was starting to get a little worried, but we got a bus operator. What depot you calling from? Oh, out of? We work out
Manhattanville.
Manhattanville. There we go. D, what's on your mind tonight? What would you like to discuss? And thank you for calling in.
No problem. I'm just concerned about how they are. First of all, I think this was planned before he won that election. I think he was going to step aside. So when he stepped aside, Richie Davis is going to move up. If you ever realize, they're all just pulling each other up the ladder. Yates took Richie Davis's spot. Bagatelle took Yates' spot. And it's just like they're trying to solidify and like hold down these spots and like have a stronghold. And it's just like I feel like the Always side, it's like they're gonna be the death of TWU.
I want you to explain that. I want you to explain that. I never heard that before. Explain that, please.
Over the summer, we had a system pick. It was supposed to be Brooklyn, Manhattan, and the Bronx. But hold on one second. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you there? Uh-huh.
Yeah. Over the summer we had a system pick, so we was all supposed to pick, and then they put in a grievance that certain rights were being violated. So TA said, you know what, Manhattan and the Bronx, you guys could pick, and don't have Brooklyn associated with it. So they said, okay, but if you look at it, we're supposed to be collective. You're violating people's rights in Brooklyn. So we were supposed to do that jointly. So you guys just did that on your own. So that's like you only caring about your people over there. What about everybody? We're a union collectively. So it's just like little things that's just I feel like it's gonna deteriorate the camaraderie between TA and OA, and I don't know. I just don't like how they're moving,
So, how much time do you have in on buses?
8 years.
You have 8 years. So you don't feel comfortable that you have a president of the union and he comes from OA. He's a bus operator. You don't think that would benefit buses?
No, because how they're moving is like it's about OA. It's all about because when they when the TA said, you know what, I'll let Manhattan and the Bronx do their own system pick. They didn't take into consideration. They should have said like, nah, our people down in TA, we're violating their rights also. So if you're just gonna let us pick, we're not gonna accept that. We need it to be collective because you're violating those TA people right down in Brooklyn also. So if you said in your mind like, all right, that's cool with us, that means you don't have everybody's best interest. So if you're willing to just do for your people and not do for everybody else, who knows what other things they're gonna come up with.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. You're saying that, if we're a union and we supposed to be united, then why are you taking care of one part of the union and not taking care of the other? I think
Yeah,
that's
and then also
yeah. Go ahead. You can
yeah,
go.
sorry about that.
You go. Go ahead.
No, and then it's like, how can I put it? It's like they're just taking a stronghold on their side. So when things are going a certain way, they're gonna, and also they're in bed with management. They let things slide. They let things go on their head, and it's like they I don't know, man. It's not a good look in my eyes.
Let me ask you a question. What's the vibe amongst your coworkers in buses? How do they feel about the union and what's going on?
The people who's cool with them and the ones that's gonna they're gonna eat because they know this one, they know that one. They are right with who's doing what, who's in position because they looking out for them, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? The other people are like, they're not feeling it. They know it's just like they're just there to go party and and take pictures with the politicians, and you know what I'm saying? And they don't care if we get the short end of the stick of whatever is handed to us. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I got you. See, what a lot of people don't understand about buses. A lot of people think that this is a bus operator union, but I hear of a lot of buses that have grievances with their leadership, with their union reps, especially in MAP Stoa. MAP Stoa is ran what I consider an iron fist. It's not like how TA is ran, where you got to go through management for certain things, and OA you got to go through the union. And if you're not in good graces with the union, they can screw you over in certain things. Now, let me ask you this question. We have a contract coming up, right? I want to ask you two questions. How much
Yep.
time would you give Richie Davis to straighten up?
As far as straighten up, as far as what?
All right, so giving him a shot. Like, we know that he came from that same cloth that been selling us out for over a decade. Now, I'm all for giving him a shot, right? I don't know if you for giving him a shot, but if you are going to give him a shot, right? What's the grace period before you say he's not going to change? He's one of them.
Yeah, he ain't gonna change. He ain't gonna do no different than the last man. He ain't gonna do nothing different. They all until like you say that get along gang, all of that. He's gonna be a yes man. He's just gonna be in the interviews and saying that he advocated to just like that when the bus operator who went over the bridge. What happened to that situation? He was all there making these press conferences, but we didn't get no update. We don't know nothing. You just want to be seen and act like you're doing something. We haven't got no results from nobody.
Yeah. Now I tell people this all the time. I have nothing personal against Richie Davis. I actually like Richie Davis, but the members come first. But I'm also realizing that I don't see the slave masters of this union passing this union to someone who may have the possibility of freeing the slaves. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing with the whole Richie Davis thing right now. And a part of me is hoping that he's actually the spook that's set by the door. I hope that he does the right thing and give the members, put the power back into the members' hands. As far as like letting us have a voice and involving us more in situations, organizing and mobilizing us more. I'm hoping he does, but only time will tell. I'm personally giving him 30 days. I want to see something. I want to see him make some type of change. I want to see him send some people back to the road. some useless people back to the road. I want to see him switch up things in communications. The communications department is archaic. It's full of dinosaurs. Things like that need to change. I want to see him change safety around. I want to see him change a whole bunch of stuff around. And he could do these changes beginning January 1st. That first week, he got time right now. January 1st, he could come, he could create these changes and good faith changes to show us that he's not one of them. Because he knows that we are thinking that he's one of them. He's definitely a part of the goal. Richie Davis is definitely part of the Go Along, Get Along gang. He could have been fooling us all this time, but he can make some changes, I believe, to separate himself from Utano, from Samuelson, and do the right thing with the members. Now, like I said, we have a contract coming up. What do you think is a fair percentage that we should get a year from the MTA?
Anything above inflation, man. And we already know what those numbers is at. So, and I'm not gonna get my hopes up just like I never got my hopes up with the hazard pay. I knew that wasn't coming. You know what I'm saying? I want to be positive and believe that we're gonna get it, but in reality, you know, we're gonna get sold out once again.
Well, let me ask you this: their new narrative now is they saying that they feel that the buses should be free. How you feel about free buses?
It's already free. If you look at it, it's already free. So you might as well, because and it's crazy. They always talking about, we got cops here from the NYPD and transit police, this and that. I start uptown on my route and I come downtown. That's when the police want to come down there and be like, is everything okay? Nah, everything's good down here. Once you go uptown and see what's going on, that's where your money's being lost. I'm not trying to say that uptown is worse than downtown or what. It's all over, but you guys are trying to, where's our money being lost? And you guys know where it's being lost. You just guys are putting your resources in the wrong places. And they're always going to cry about something, and they're never going to have a solution to nothing. They know where it's at. They know where the money's being lost. All these kids jumping turnstiles, and I'm just saying, not kids, everybody, buses, and they're teaching their younger kids just to walk past the driver, good evening, driver, whatever, and just, I don't got it, and sit down. It's a never-ending thing. So the buses is free. And it wasn't due to the pandemic, because they're letting people through the buses. They were doing it before, and it's just they're doing it now, and it's what it is.
Listen. I was waiting for somebody to say that. The buses is free now, so what does it matter? And you're 100% right, and it feels good to talk to people who is familiar with the issues, and there's so many of co-workers like yourself, co-workers like myself out there, but we just don't hear each other talk enough. We don't get a chance to exchange these ideas and to show that, I'm not the only one thinking like this. I never spoke to you before. We think alike.
Yeah.
We think alike, right? So
yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, now a lot of people be like, yo, you should. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna let you know, because a lot of people, they don't get the information because they may not know of you or know of these other platforms to get information and who's doing what and who's really for us. I have to tell them, like, yo, you see this and you see that. These people out here, a man that's not even in a unit saving people's jobs. The progressive action is doing things that it's like, how you guys sitting there, yes, man, and this person over here, and he ain't doing nothing but taking pictures with these people, and you got these people who's not even in that seat to be saving people's jobs and telling you the right way to go about things. And it's like some people being brainwashed depending on where they start and who they talk to. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, once you feed somebody this and that's all they know, that's all they're gonna know. But I know both sides of the story. But and to backtrack on one thing with the union, I feel like on the OA side, you see how you guys washed them out clean, and on the TA side with Progressive Action, it's like they don't have a team or people strong enough and willing enough to fight on the OA side to, start making changes over there. So now they all, taking up all them big slots, positions, I should say, and they're, probably whoever's speaking up and trying to go against the grain, they ain't getting no overtime. They not, you know what I'm saying? It's just, they're just trying to have a stronghold on that side. So when certain things happen, they're just going to side with transit. They're going to take whatever they're going to take underneath the table and sell us out.
Yeah. See, I have a philosophy for beating them. I believe that they're very beatable. Wherever we ran a full slate against them, we won. Right? And the problem with our union is that a lot of people don't want to get involved. Right? You could literally run dead bodies against them. You just have to have people in those positions, and they will lose. I think that everything have an expiration date, and I think that their time is up. And the only way that they can revive themselves is if they intertwine with people like yourself, with young people who's willing to fight. See, and the thing is this also is that they think that we dumb. They think that our lives started when we came to transit. So they look at you. How much time you got on the job? Oh, I got 8. I got 8 years. They think that's your date of birth. They think our induction dates is our date of births, right? Oh, you only got 2 years. Somebody could be 52 years old starting to work transit. Oh, how much time you got on the job? Oh, I'm a rookie. How old are you? 52 years old. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You telling a 50-something year old they don't know what they talking about as if they never lived life before?
Exactly.
Like these people is
and that's
crazy.
how it is. Because I remember when I was in Quill, it's this guy. He's a little older than me, but he started in Quill, so all he knows is OA. So that's where the playground is, Yates office, all their offices up in there, and that's all he knows. So now they're grooming him, and it's like, let him tell it is like always right, and that's it. And everything that TA do and their rules and this, that, and the third, it's just they're brainwashing some of them and the new ones, and some of them that they're just, making sure that they eat, what I'm saying, giving them overtime, get them out of trouble if, let this one go, you know what I mean? It's just they're brainwashing them. So, of course, they're going to gravitate to them, and they're going to have that stronghold on those particular people.
Yeah, I mean, this union, they know how to prey on weak people, right? They know how to take advantage of people, right? They know how to dangle the carrot in front of their face. They know how to keep people in line. Listen, the union and MAP Stoa, they know how to keep the members more in line than what management can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They keep the members in line more than what management can. And it's because they have a lot of power and they get away with a lot. You got a lot of feedback. Sound like you're listening to me on another device.
Oh, I do. My fault. Is better?
Yeah. On this, you just talk to me like you talking on the phone.
Okay, copy.
You know what I mean? But yeah, they keep the members in check more than what they keep than what management do. And we just got to do. We can't continue to down this path as members. We already know what the business is. We already know how they act, and guess what? They are easy to beat. I only got 9 years on the job, but I probably put in 30 years worth of work already. I'll be hitting them with that jigger line. Man, I'm so far ahead of my time. I'm about to start another life. Look behind you. I'm about to pass you twice. They can't even dream of what I did.
You're a trendsetter with a majority of the things you've been doing. They seen what you do and they follow. I tell people like nobody was out there trying to put out information and inform the members on doesn't matter your position, if it was RTO or buses or MAL or whatever. Once you started doing that, Now they start making videos and they start doing this. But what happened before that? You was trying to keep the members in the dark? What happened?
Exactly.
Why all of a sudden now you want to be like, oh, now this man is gaining some traction and he got people following because he's, informing and telling people what it is. Now it's like, now we got to get on our good foot and show them like, yo, we've been here, but we just been keeping you in the dark. And let me let you know a little here and there now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I could go on and on about this, but it's my first time calling in. And,
I mean, look, like you said,
you know what I mean?
like you said with the trendsetter, right? The union don't even got a platform where you could call in and voice your grievances or even have a conversation. I don't screen. I don't know who's calling me, right? I just see numbers on the screen, and I don't know if somebody want to question me about something, but I'm so versed, I could just answer anything. But look, thanks for calling in. I appreciate you. Do me a favor, hit me behind the scenes. I want to continue this conversation with you at a later date. And I also want to invite you to my brunch that I will be having at the top of next year. So I definitely want to see you and meet you.
Yes, sir. We met before, but we'll get to that.
All right, cool. Just hit me up.
All right.
Man, I feel so good. Like people is calling in. What time is it? It's 1:45 in the morning, and we having union conversations. And people be like, the union be like, we can't have union meetings on a weekend. We can't have it during the... Listen, this could be a union meeting. It's 1:45 in the morning, and we getting it cracking. And the phone lines is popping right now. Let's get our next call on the air. Caller 7800. You live on Progressive Action TV. What's your name? Where you calling from, and what's your title?
My name is Drummond, and Chris Drummond, and I didn't even know you was out on Facebook, and I see you have a live show. So my name is Chris Drummond, and I'm a fighter, a real fighter. I ain't like this fraud union. And this union is fraudulent, man. Straight fraudulent. Weak. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to go at it now. I don't know what's going to happen with the new president. I'm assuming that the status quo. This is one of the weakest unions in the city. That's a fact. And I can prove it. There's strong unions down here, but that's another conversation for another day. And I was going to do a live tomorrow, but I guess I talk about something now, like with these. I was reading, bro, this is hilarious, man. This is hilarious. I was reading the TW website is straight propaganda game. It's just game, and they have no respect for my brothers and sisters' intellect. And I feel sorry for our brothers in stations, because they just threw them to the dogs. Let me read this to you, bruh. Station Vice President Robert Kelly has negotiated a landmark agreement to protect station agents while raising the pay rate by $1 an hour. What's historic about that? What's historic about our brothers and sisters who their job, when they apply for that job, 5 years ago, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, a year ago, their job descriptions wasn't being out there with the public for a buck. A buck, ain't no way, never a buck is, ain't nothing historic about $1, getting $1. And they saying, yo, get out there with the wolves and give them directions and information. Even people who give out information booths information. They sitting down in the booth. They're not gonna. They put our brothers and sisters out there, and this is what this is about, bro. Leba is almost obsessed. He believes that everything going on is about station aid, fear evasion. That's it. And I was gonna put this on my live, but I say it right on April 26th at the breakfast of the Association for a Better New York. He said people who commit robberies and violent crimes generally do not borrow the swipe Metro cards. He also said we at somewhere else. I got this from man in New York. We wanted to no, matter of fact, this was the dinner. The breakfast. I'm sorry, it's late. We want to deter crimes before they happen by keeping the bad actors out of the system in the first place. Fair evasion enforcement can pick all types of guns and legal weapons. So there was another quote I read, and I read this quote: not every fair evader is a criminal, but virtually every criminal is a fair evader. So this is what they want to do, bro. It's clear as day. They think the station agents are a barrier between getting in the system and committing crimes, and they're not. And that's all this is about. Get them out them booths and get them out there. And what the station agents gonna do? Before they had some sort of protection, they saw somebody jump the turnstile, they could say, pay your fare or call for the police. What are they going to do now but get hurt and attacked for company, and after they hurt and attacked are going to fight them when they try to get comp and try to get what's entitled to them? I'm real fearful for them, man. And to say this is historic is bruh, it's comedy. It's comedy. And let me read this, because I was going to put this on my live. I'm up. You up. We up. Let me just say this. This is what was in the paper. On Thursday, together with Robert Kelly of the Transit Union, TW Local 100, we announced a historic agreement for the future of the station agent's role, this isn't the future of the role. This is a role they redefined in the subway system to support customer service more effectively in our subway stations. The role of the booth-oriented station agents date back to the era of tokens. This agreement represents a historic modernization of the role. That's comedy. Historic modernization. That's gay. Ain't not about put somebody in harm's way. Bringing agents out of the booths to better serve the needs of the customer in the 21st century station environment. Understand the way we do business is changing. Station agents will shift from working exclusively in booth to performing exclusively in booth where they're supposed to be, which was their job description, to performing core customer service functions, both inside and outside the booth, including at turnstiles, fare machines, and throughout the stations. Come on, man. You can't shine a turd. Ain't nothing they could do to dress this up.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think that the union administration is getting away with this undeterred?
Well, I don't know, because I've been to a stations meeting. They way more, the word you use, they way more engaged than we are in RTO. That's a fact. They got a lot of people with time. And the thing is, they got a lot of people with time. A lot of people in RTO have time, but they're not engaged. And I don't really go for it. It's their opinion. I can dig it. But when they say that, well, Tucson did this wrong and that's like not ever voting again because of a candidate that you don't like 20 years ago. That don't hold water with me. There's been other administrations out there, so that don't really hold water with me, while some of our brothers and sisters who were here during the strike just are not engaged. I know they was hurt. They didn't agree with a lot of the way things went, but that's no reason why not to be involved. I don't know to get to it with stations. Like I said, I thought they was way more engaged in RTO. I don't know. I'm always mystified by why we lay down. Period. Now I just lay down I don't understand it in 2022 that so many of us, too many of us, the majority of us down there don't want to fight. And even with a lot of the turnover in the unions, those are not, and I got nothing to get, they good, decent people who
And I remember going to meetings, seeing some of the people who are now elected officers. They came to the meeting because they was concerned, and I applaud them for that. But they wasn't fighters. They're not the fighters, and they're not fighting now. And that's not their fault. That's the membership's fault. They talk. They got you. Listen, RTO, what you think gonna happen? When you think you get yours? When you think your turn is coming? And let me say this about the state. What's going on in stations? We got brothers and sisters who have been spit on, been assaulted, and a child has feces thrown on them. It's the same thing. All types of things, choked out, all types of situations. And they didn't want to get on the train again. So they were seeking a reclassification. We got brothers and sisters that were hurt and injured and can't stand, are sick, can't be in the front no more, conductors can't stand in the middle anymore. Got injured and y'all would have you, and he was looking for to be reclassified, looking for something that can accommodate their trauma, help with their trauma, and soothe their traumas and their injuries. And they was going to station agent. Now, they're in the worst position now, going to stations, than they were in RTO. And they know that because they killed two birds with one stone. So they say, all right, we don't need, either you're going to go back to the middle or the front, because another thing, I think the 12-9, your trauma, front injury, hurting the yard would have you, or you going to resign.
Well, let me ask you.
That's the option
that are
left with RTO now.
Let me ask you this question, and I want you to hold on. I'm gonna bring on another guest with us. I think this probably LaShawn. He asked to come on with you. Don't you find it strange, and just to switch speeds a little bit, don't you find it strange that the union start negotiating our contract or start even fighting for a contract in any form or fashion 90 days before the expiration of the contract, but when it comes for union elections and being able to disqualify people, they start a year before? Let me just bring LaShawn on before you answer that. Hold on. Let me bring him on. Hopefully this him. 0539. You live on Progressive Action TV. Name, title, where you calling from?
0539. Live on Progressive Action TV.
No,
that's where you calling from.
No, this not LaShawn.
All right. Are you calling to say something? Or you just listening?
No, it was me that just called previously. I just wanted to clarify something, but you could go on to the next caller.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
No, I wanted to say something from what I wanted to clarify earlier from what I was saying, but
Yeah, go ahead, Drummond. Drummond disappeared. Drummond, where you at?
I'm right here, man.
Yeah. All right.
But you got me. I'm up late.
And answer that question though, because we only got 36 minutes of studio time left. So
answer that question. No, I don't find nothing strange, because in talking about other unions, there was other unions that suspended dues. There was under unions that gave their members, helped them with their medical costs, and gave them $1,000 each. Unions almost as big as ours. So I don't. I think during the election that this union got the PP loan, the loans, right? And what they could have did, they could have showed all the members some grace, especially the ones out on comp, and suspended their dues. Unions did that. No, I don't find nothing surprising how they move around. And they move around. They don't even move around under the cloak of darkness. They do it with our eyes wide right in front of us, because we're not engaged. They do what they want. they basically via the dues thing, they stopped you and Evangeline from, and it's supposed to be a democracy. It's a joke. Democracy, they don't stand for nothing. It's no unionism is a joke. They don't give a damn about the members' wealth. So what else do the members need to see? So no, to answer your question succinctly, no, I'm not surprised, bro. No.
Well, let me ask you this, because it's a few things I want to talk to you about. I know you've seen the video with the conductor where her partner got burned because of an explosion, and we all heard her say that the vice president of RTO, Canela Gomez, basically brushed her off. That's what she basically said, and like, what you want me to do? It's only 10 minutes before you sign in. What do you want me to do? How do you feel about that whole entire situation? And not only Gomez is guilty here, but the MTA not making sure that the conductor was good.
Well, first of all, the president, which I really got to acknowledge that President Tarno, even though we didn't know, but he was leaving in a few days, he went to the hospital. And the VP went to the hospital. And I'll get to the VP and the president was there. Every union rep should have been there. But the president was there. The union rep should have got off their asses and went to that hospital. And I don't recall, there's no way in hell that happened. And I say this because I stayed that hospital with members. I say this, I've seen the union react and go to the hospitals. I remember our brother got stabbed. Nook was there. Jose Lugo was there. Lenny Goody was there. The VP was there. Everybody showed up. Everybody was there. Because it was a situation, all hands on deck. This brother's scared. He's hurt. And I don't know the brother who was there, and I applaud him for being there. A new union rep, I don't know him. But he shouldn't have been there alone because he wasn't experienced with being with somebody who was just, in an incident of that magnitude. So yeah, I feel some kind of way. He's a trainer. The chair wasn't there. I could even make some excuses for something, but the chair wasn't there. The vice chair of the division wasn't there. And they just basically let somebody just, I don't know this brother, and he's a good brother. I don't know him. I'm not questioning his motives. But they just left him there. I would be embarrassed if the president was there and I wasn't there. But what happened with me, and I don't think what happened with a lot of people in the prior administration, I'm sure it wouldn't. I'm sure Raul would have been there. I'm sure a lot of the prior administration would have been there. But what's your other question? So yeah, I think with backtrack a little bit with Canela Gomez, the VP, he has a pattern. Now I would prefer, he just opens himself up to this all the time. And I did a live last month respond to how he responded to the toy drive and how condescending he was with our brothers and sisters in RTO. And, and the sister Raven, I don't know her last name, the sister who was at the 36th Street shooting, who had issues with the way he interacted with her after the 36th Street shooting. The brother who a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, who witnessed the murder on the A train, who was taken to the precinct. The management allowed him to go to the precinct, had to tell the brother to leave. There was no union representation, nobody there from up until that. Last time I spoke to him, he still hadn't spoke to anybody from the union. So he wasn't reached out to. And I don't know about at that point that the incident in the Bronx with TSS Hercules. I remember that brother reached out to you, and I spoke with him. The union, that was a high-profile incident that the union wasn't involved in.
So but now this sister. So at some point, it ain't no coincidence. It's just the way the VP interacts with the membership, and this is his form of his another example of his bad communication. There's been a plethora of incidents with Canelo Gomez, and we would be having a conversation. Well, I would be saying we would be talking about this right now. I wouldn't be talking about it. You wouldn't have had the show with the sister had he just spoken with her and treated her with some respect, with some respect for her situation, with some respect for her situation, and was understanding of what she was asking. Because sometimes you got to shake some trees as a VP. Sometimes you got to make that call. Sometimes you got to flex that muscle. That's what the job entails.
Now,
But management, I don't.
let me say, like he, sometimes you try to give people the benefit of the doubt, even if you are critical of them, right? And I try to give him the benefit of the doubt, but then he went with an excuse instead of him saying, you know what, I screwed up, I could have handled it better. He says that he was in a meeting and he misunderstood what she was saying. Right? So it's either one or the other. You misunderstood what she was saying or you was in a meeting, right? Now, the bottom line is that he never followed up with her. And he never sent anyone else to follow up with her. And that's the sign of poor leadership. And I don't know if he's capable of being, a leader at all. I think that he's great at organizing events. Making sure that things is in place, making sure that microphones is in place for rallies, making sure that stages is built. He's good at the flyer thing. He's good at the raffle thing. But I think that he's way in over his head when it comes to moving as a union rep. And listen, members are starting to see it. He started a unnecessary beef with Kia. Kia basically been out of the spotlight for years. Kia don't even participate in his own group like that. And for him to try to attack Kia, I think that he's working on behalf of Eric too. I think he's doing some of Eric bidding.
I know there's no love lost between him and Eric, but we all should hope that, that Canelo, and it is not looking like it, but we should all have expectation that he becomes, we could do nothing but applaud him and get behind him. If he becomes, a great and a good RTL VP, we all should root, and I certainly did. I was salty about lose. Nobody likes to lose. It's not a good feeling about that. And I was salty about this dude putting in protest behind my back to the neutral monitor and election committee, trying to get me thrown out the election. I thought that was real greasy. And I'm telling people in text. They show me that Drummond is I forget, lying, bass. I forgot what the term what he said. Drummond's a liar, whatever, a piece of shit liar. And I could say this, that I could prove that he's the type of man he is. But show me anybody around the system that was going to say that Drummond's a liar. I made some missteps as my role as a union officer. Anybody that I ever broke my word to, that whoever came to me for help in any context that I didn't help, and you're going to try to slander me. I went through that whole campaign. I ain't stand. So those things are really bothering me to this kind of stuck in my claw. But that being said, for the sake of RTO, want this brother to become, and I wanted him to, kind of evolve into the role, but that's not happening. It's just, this is who he is. It's not happening. And that's sad and unfortunate for our department. That's everybody, every mature adult should want Canelo to succeed. But he's not working with us. And everybody's, to your point, starting to come to realization is that this is who we voted for, and this is RVP. RTO, except for a few officers. And it ain't everybody's fault, but RTO and TW is the other joke to management. To kind of answer a question about management has no respect for RTO. And the members see that. The proof is in the pudding. Don't take my word for it. Look around.
Yeah. Hold on,
Use
Drum.
your eyes.
Hold on, Drum. Hold that thought. Hold, stay right there. I'm gonna bring another caller in because we got some time weighing down. I want to get as many callers in as possible. Hold on. Caller 8872 live on Progressive Action TV. What's your name? Where you calling from, and what's your title?
What's going on, brother? How you doing? It's Craig, man.
What's good, my brother? You live on the air. You got Drummond. You wanted to be on with Drummond. So what's on your mind?
Before we even touch on any of the other subjects, what I want to know is where was all of that smoke for Eric when you was in office?
Who you talking to me?
What's up, Craig? You direct that to me?
No. I'm talking about Mr. Drummer. Where was all that smoke for Eric when you was in office?
When I don't know if you was following the election, and I stayed in just like Canelo, my focus was on Eric. If you remember, during the election, I said that Eric weakened the apartment, and he was a weakness because he sent Jose Lugo, T.O. Record Secretary, back to the road, Michelle Figueroa, vice chair, and basically they had the Towers back to the road. Towers didn't have no representation.
Who's Michelle Figueroa?
He also sent Raul Lugo back to the road, and I stayed giving Eric smoke. Now, as an officer, what that was going on back behind the scenes was behind the scenes. I didn't run with Stand United. I'm the only one who stayed Progressive Action throughout their term. Period. Give me smoke. I ran. Hold up, one more thing. Stand United, and anybody, Melendez will tell you, Jesse will tell you, Eric will tell you, Deidre will tell you, Dominic Cope will tell you, Curtis Lemon will tell you. They wanted me to run for conductor chair. And brother, if I ran for conductor chair, independent from Australia, I was winning conductor chair. It was a shoo-in. Jesse wasn't even going to run. That was part of the deal. And I said, and I didn't run with Stand United just on my integrity. And number two, I had no respect. Like I told them, I had no respect. I had lost all respect for Eric Legal. That's my answer, bro. But great question, bro.
Okay. So you said that this was a deal that was done behind the scenes.
It wasn't a deal. It was an offer. It was a conversation.
Okay. So let's move off of Eric. Let's move on to Gomez, because I can touch so many things on Eric, but I'm not going to do that because you're a brother. So we're going to leave that alone. But we're going to touch on Gomez. As far as Gomez goes, and as far as you go when you was an elected official, how long did it take you to begin to try to fix things in the union?
Well, I was fixing things, and that's the point, and that's another great question. I was out front of 2 Broadway day one. Everybody knew who I was. I was sending out Texas to 300-400. Everybody knew who I was. Day one, before I started fishing, when I took the TSSC more to the IG. I think I might still be on program. I'm not sure. But that's from day one, bro. Day one, before I had any relations. That's how Tremel. That's why I ran with them. I earned that.
No,
They
where he
won.
was Drummond, where he's
What I'm
asking.
saying is
Yeah, go ahead, Craig. Ask your own question.
what I'm saying is, Mr. Drummond, is once you got in, how long did it take before the changes that you were trying to implement began to take place?
All I can say about the changes I tried to implement is that from a vice chair, did I take issues to the chair? Did I take issues did I go to one on Toronto Street and bring things to the VP so he could implement them? There's roles that if you're a vice chair, you basically talking to line suits. You talk to generals. You get to act those
Correct.
certain, and I went overboard. Everybody tells you I talk to everybody. And I do it now. But I don't know if somebody.
I know you went overboard for me. I
so
can
day
admit that
one,
on air.
bro. Day one, I tried to make my mark. But some things is like
I'm speaking primarily about a time period. I'm speaking primarily about a time period.
No,
so I'm
telling you that
the point that I'm trying to make is, how long has Canella been in office?
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Next
so
month
now
to be a year.
the time period. So now the time period from the moment that you got in until the changes that you attempted to implement started to take place, how long was that?
I say this again. I can put it this way. I went the first week I was in office. I went to the board about our safety, about having more cops on platforms. I went to the board. Tramel can pull up. I don't know. I addressed myself as Progressive Action and the member of TWU Local 100. And I immediately tried to address, and I do it to this day, and I'm gonna do it. Some other things have on day one, brother. But this is it to even answer questions.
And I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm not saying that you're not a banger. You bang all day. I'll give you that on air. I know that you go in. But how long did it take before what you implement? See,
it's a constant fight. But to your question, Greg, if I can merge this to it, I tell you this. I say this about Eric too, since we talked about it. I get on Eric for a minute. Eric didn't come into office disrespecting and threatening the membership, brother. He didn't come in. He didn't do that. I mean, he got in scrapes. He probably said a few things that people he shouldn't have said out there. But no, he didn't come into the office and threaten conductors, get into it with train operators, brush off the membership, not address an incident. No, Eric did not do that. And forget the implementation. Even if I conceded that to you, that Canella need more time. Within the time he has been in office. He has disrespected this membership on numerous occasions, brother.
Now, Craig, what I want to ask, what I want to clear up for the question is, I know you asking Drummond, how long it took for him to create change, and like almost comparing it to Gomez. Gomez could create the change that he want to see. The vice president is the visionary of the department, right? The vice chair is 3 spots below. You got vice president, division chair, then vice chair, right? So before the vice chair could implement anything on a union level, because it's different from me doing something versus when you in a union. When you're in a union, you almost got to follow the chain of command at that point. And if you don't, they could shut you down. Like, you going over my head while you doing this, while you doing that. The thing is that when you working as a union and we officers, we got to work together as a collective. And I think that's the problem what's going on now with our current union reps. Like you will speak with JL Rodriguez, right? Now, one thing that JL Rodriguez is doing is saying that I know what I'm doing. He's trying to just cover for himself But he don't understand that when you get elected, it's not about you. It's about the collective.
Correct.
So if Gomez do bad, then
Correct.
guess what? JL, you're doing bad. Aaron, you're
Correct.
doing bad. Everybody's doing bad. Because you want to know what? When everything is good,
Correct.
everybody want to take credit for the good. But when things start going bad, oh, is this person over here? Is that person over there? Nah, y'all are a team. We have the union and we have the union administration. I'm not separating the union administration and making them separate. They all one. That's why I say Richie Davis, yeah, I'm cool with him on a personal level, but I'm also aware he's a part of the go along, get along gang. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
But T2.
Yeah.
T2. Who has more power than Gomez, JL, Richie Davis, and I can't remember the other name. Who has more power?
The members, we do.
Than all of them?
We do, right? We do.
Now,
Let me just say this. You make your own power. Has nothing to do. You make your own power out there. And I was thinking, I apologize. This is unorthodox. I apologize for interrupting both of you. But I just thought of something. If I don't say it, I'm gonna forget it. I don't want to leave anything on the table. Also, Gomez ran with an agenda. My agenda was respect and dignity. For us, it was real simple. We wasn't gonna be disrespected by management, and if they disrespect us, there's gonna be a real serious problem. But that's not the case right now. They disrespect us now. But he ran with agenda, and one of them was transparency. It take a minute. You can enact transparency your first day on the job.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what he put all these things on that he ran with an agenda and a mandate, and he hasn't lived up to that at all.
Well, we all know, Mr. Drummond and T2, we know that transparency, that's a talking point. All three of us know that that's BS. I hear it in your. We all know that's BS.
You're right.
You can't put all of your plans out in the forefront if you're trying to beat the quote unquote enemy. We all know who the enemy is. I'm not going to give them that type of accolade, but we all know what it is. So transparency, that's off the table. What I will say, I'm listening, brother.
No, go ahead, Craig. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yep. No. I want to listen to Drummond. I mean, Mr. Drummond, I'm going to listen to you.
I just maybe I'm a different type, but you're right. But yeah, I think. But when you also say transparency, you give the membership, you engage the membership. There's a lot of things that's going on. It don't take transparency. It didn't take transparency to say that this governor don't give a damn about us. You still could use your soapbox. You still can address things. And this is the thing what I think you saying. It ain't about far as implementing things. It's about you and what happens with Gomez and what happened with Eric and Kia kind of read way, try to do a thing towards the end, is that they don't have an independent voice. And when you say Richie Davis and you mention these names and all that, has nothing. Yates has a voice in buses. Richie Davis had a voice when he was VP. All them, Kelly's holding press conference on this, right or wrong. I don't agree with that move they just did. It's insane. But RTL VPs seem to lose their independence from day one.
I agree.
At the end of the day, it really does not matter the type of title that you hold. People don't buy into what you do. T2, you out in the field. Your team is out in the field. Mr. Drummond being a part of that team. Canella, he was out in the field, and a couple of other names. I'm not going to give them those accolades. People buy into who you are. And if you want to have the proper elected officials, just tell the members who you are. You can't promise anything. You going up against the MTA. Fuck it up. We're gonna say the name. You going up against the MTA. That is a whole conglomerate that's been around for over $120 years. I may be off by a couple of years.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this, Craig. Let me say this, Craig, because I know that you get deep with your analogies, and you know you do a lot of educating. You educate me on a lot of stuff, right? You said that
I'll back off. I'll back off.
Listen. You're gonna like this. You're gonna like this. You said that they gotta let the people know who they are, right? They gotta say who they are. That I think that's the problem. They don't even know who they are. They just existing, bro.
But
a lot
we
of
have the power to change that.
You said what?
The members, we have the power to change.
No,
that.
but yeah, we do.
The people can say, "Who are you?"
Yeah, but
who are you, who are you, Mr. Drummond?
Craig, listen.
Who are you?
The people don't care. The majority of the people that we work with do not care about politics, right? And this is not only exclusive to New York City Transit. We see this in our communities. How many of our homies, you know, we grew up in the courtyard. How many people in the courtyard you think actually vote?
Absolutely.
How many people in the courtyard you think actually vote?
I don't.
Let's be real.
I don't think that they vote, but I know how many people in the courtyard listen to you and I.
Oh, that's a fact. But you want to know what? You and I ain't controlling nothing in the community that we could give them anything. People listen
Yet.
to Yeah, you could say yet, right? Yeah, that's true.
Yet.
But we have to do a better job as a collective. You, I, Drummond, Nuke, Kemp, everybody. We got to do a better job organizing the people. Because like you said, you ain't say nothing wrong. You didn't say anything wrong. The people got more power than the people who's actually in. We, the people, got more power than them, right? Now the key is to organize those people because they ready. They waiting. They waiting for somebody to come and organize them. People waiting for directions. You was in the army, my brother.
Correct.
You know what I mean? This in the army, you have a structure with a leader that give orders, and those orders don't be disrespectful. You just got to carry them out. It's a part of your job.
Correct.
We have.
Correct. Can you please repeat that one more time?
Which part?
One more time, brother.
Which part? The army part?
You was in the army.
Yeah, you had
a structure.
Yeah, structure for a fact.
Our structure comes from a certain culture. You got to change the culture.
Exactly, and
you're 100% right. But let's get to the reality. And I saw your pictures online too, and I'm sure that you're in the military. You have elite force too. You have elite forces. You have the Rangers. You have the Navy SEALs. You have elite, and some I don't even know about, that these elite forces, and if they are, you have people, and even if you want to go, let's go the other side. When you had the IRA, you have Sinn Féin, if you're correcting me, please, I'm malapropping that. But you had different arms. We don't have that. We have no fight, and this is what I think, just to be more succinct with it, I don't think they care. I don't think the union cares. I don't think we have officers more concerned in walking around in their street clothes than they are stepping to superintendent and supervisor and upper management. That's just a fact.
Well, brothers, without saying too much, and we can speak about this offline. I remember Eric speaking to another brother of ours, share the same skin tone, at 2 Broadway, that was talking about all of the discrepancies that was going on. I overheard this, stepped out of the office, because I was down there for a dance, and I said, you know what? I said, if you want some structure, I said, how about you put some military people on your team? You know what Eric Liddell said? Oh, nah, you guys are too hard charging.
Listen, I don't listen,
But it's
Craig. Eric can't.
I'm
Eric.
not shocked. I'm not.
Eric
Bro,
can't last.
That's not a revelation. I believe.
Eric can't last 30 minutes from the environments that we come from. You know what I'm saying? Like Eric looked like the type of person that still sleep with teddy bears at night. He's not.
yes.
He's not. You can't present that question to him.
But brother, one of the things that I have an issue with, I came in contact with a sister, and I don't know this sister. I just said, "Hey, how's your day going?" And she says, "Is your name Craig?" I said, "Yeah." She was like, "Yo, I gotta talk to you about something." She was like, "Look, I don't want to die down here," and that psychologically messed with me. I was like, "Why is a woman talking to a man that she don't even know, talking about she don't want to die down here?" I'm like, that is a problem, T2. That's a problem, Mr. Drummond.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
That's a
bro,
problem.
you-
That's a
bro,
culture
Now,
problem.
hold on, guys. Hold on, guys.
that-
We got 3 minutes left before the phone lines cut off. I had it for 2 hours. We got 3 minutes.
Cool.
So wrap it up.
I'm gonna be quiet. No, I'm gonna be quiet.
Nah, Craig.
I'ma
Craig.
let
Nah, Craig.
Mr.
You said
Drummond-
no, Craig. You talk because Drummond get a lot of time on all the platforms. You say something.
But I would like to hear wisdom speak from yourself, who has held this platform, has held it up. I'm not even gonna say held it down, held it up for quite some time, fighting through all kinds of ish. Drummond came on. Okay, I had, some discrepancies with Mr. Drummond, so I'm gonna let wisdom speak, and I'm gonna be quiet. This is my time to be quiet.
I'm tired of talking. I guess the wisdom is gonna be drumming for tonight. The wisdom gonna be drumming for the rest of it.
We
Yeah,
are
you got
dying.
it, Mr.
We
Drummond.
I've said it before. We are literally dying. I put a post that the consequences is a disease that we get from rat urine, rat hairs. We losing our hearing down here. There's toxic them tunnels that things are going on in the tunnels that we don't know. We take pushes. We hold our urine. We have to use the bathroom. We have to shit. We hold that. We take pushes. We stressed out by how we're disrespecting out here. This is the only job that you go to, that you go into the office, the CRC in our cases, and we see obituaries everywhere we go. We die relatively young. I think they did a survey, but we are dying here, and they don't care that we dying here. Get on your train and shut up. None of this is complicated, and you're right, brother. We got to get up and organize, because transit, what they just did with the move with the station agents, they sat down, they planned it, and they said, give them $1 and put them out there. They get assaulted, if it gets too crazy, we're thrown back in the booth. They don't care about our lives. Same thing with the trains. Signal en route. Right G2s for foolishness. The train operators go to hell.
How many minutes we got? How many minutes we got, T2?
We got minute 30 seconds. Minute 30 seconds.
Minute 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Mr. Drummond, if
90 seconds.
What I would like to say to the people, check out 2 things. It's called the Mildred Experiment and the Overton View. Check out those 2 things and apply it to what's going on right now. It's called the Overton View and the Mildred Experiment. And that will open your eyes. I'm hoping, and I don't like to hope on many things, I'm hoping that will open up the eyes.
60 seconds.
All right.
I'm ending it there.
with us.
All right. So look, thanks for my callers for calling in. Craig, it's always a pleasure talking to you, my brother. And I like that tough love. I love the tough the tough love that you gave Drummond a little bit. You challenged Drummond, and that's what I like. See, Drummond is a sportsman, right? Drummond was ready to answer. Yeah. He didn't get offended.
I would never disrespect him.
No, but look, questions is questions. Listen,
I would never disrespect.
the people that we spoke about today, they would never come on this platform to be questioned by the members. They would never allow me to interview them because they just not transparent. They not transparent. That's that word, right? But look, the line about the
10
line,
seconds.
the line about the cutoff. I'm gonna speak to you guys later, and we go do this again soon. All right.
All right, brother.
I
Craig,
bet.
be safe, brother. All right, come on.
All right. No problem, Mr. Jones. Yo, T2, be good, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Yeah. So we was burning the midnight oil tonight. We was burning the midnight oil tonight. We did 2 hours live. 2 hours live. Plenty of callers called in. If you miss it, you must listen to the show. We was talking contracts. We was talking new presidents. We was talking timelines, deadlines. A lot of people called in, especially for this time of night. But look, we work for a company that don't never sleep, and we work in a city that never sleep. Make sure you guys donate to the show. You see it right there. Donate via Cash App. You can also, if you're watching on Facebook, throw some stars in there. If you're watching on YouTube, I guess in the super chat, you could donate something to the platform. Do that. We're going to do this more often. This is my first day bringing the call-in back. The call-in is back. I want to hear from you guys. Your voices will be heard. Your voices will not be ignored. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.